6:42. You know, some people may argue the good old-fashioned way of doing things without computers is over, but getting back to the basics in the digital age is actually proving to be a lucrative business for one woman.
Yeah, in this week's Maiden Essay, we traveled outside the city to New Braunfels, where I got a look at how it's done at pressed paper.
Writing the story in the digital age, we put down the pen and turned to our computers.
Paper, however, is still used to print these scripts, but have you ever stopped to think what it takes to really make it?
Sharon Kopko is falling back in love with the basics.
Sarah's making Tara. Most people, unless you're in the stationery business, are not really familiar with handmade paper, but we're getting the word out.
At our company, Press Paper, each sheet starts by making the pulp.
We put cotton rag in here.
Breaking down the pieces by hand.
We turn them on.
Him being Max, the Hollander beater, used to break down the materials even further.
Mix this with a mixer real quick. And it's been around for ages, and bringing it back is just a really cool thing. It gives me rumples just thinking about it. Yeah, there's just nothing like it.
Instead of just white paper, they get creative and add pigments.
It's so fun. It's actually very relaxing. It's almost like meditative.
Each sheet is molded by hand, making it one of a kind.
And the difference between the regular manufactured paper and handmade paper is the gorgeous decal edges.
It's those details that give Kopko an edge, even though she's only been in business for 2 years.
And I think the key is that people really wanted to see some different colors. Our colors are really muted and earthy.
Now, like Baskin Robbins, Press Paper offers their product in 31 different colors. So in a day and age where the pen and paper are thrown to the side.
With the digital age, you can create your own stationery using, products online, but there's just nothing like receiving a card in the mail.
Kopko calls herself a traditionalist with a unique and almost vintage style.
There's just nothing like handmade. It's so unique and beautiful, and it also supports the tradition.
It was very cool to see how it is all made, and I don't know if you saw that paper at the end. She puts flower petals in some of the paper. It's very neat. And shout out to her husband, John, who makes a lot of the stuff there, and then her 2 employees who are super sweet. Great people.
And it got me wondering, I mean, did she tell you how she ended up doing this business?
From the beginning? Yes.
Yeah.
So one of her daughters was getting married, and she bought some handmade paper, and the lady didn't have the same color because, like she mentioned, like no 2 pieces are the same. She ran out. So she decided to make it by herself. She was doing it in her laundry room with like a blender. Wow. And she just loved it. She said it was so much fun, but they definitely are really cool people. They have lots of different workshops at their location. So definitely look them up online on Instagram. You want to check out some of those. They have tons of flower making, calligraphy.
Desperation makes you get creative real quickly, huh? And then it turns into a big business. That's awesome. It's a really good story.